Hello and welcome to the Life in General podcast. My name is Nick.
My name is Ian.
Hey, did you see I got a little better? I'm not so robotic. I don't know what the hell I was going on there for.
I know. I was questioning whether or not you were human there for a while.
I don't know. It sounds differently when I'm saying it. Then I listen back, I'm like, what the hell's wrong with me?
Oh, I was questioning your humanity long before the show.
You're such a jackass. As always, any questions or comments, you can email at contact@lifeandjoelpodcast.com. Check us out on Twitter and Facebook. Hey, look, Ian, I'm not even looking at notes. I can say all that. Do you know what our Twitter handle is?
No.
You're such a rotten bastard.
Nope.
At LIG Pod.
Yeah.
We're on, where are we at? We're on YouTube. You can check out our YouTube channel. We're on Podbean, iTunes. Well, I guess it's Apple Music. We're on Google Podcasts, too. Not Apple Music, but Apple Podcasts.
Right.
Google Podcasts, Stitcher. Did I say Podbean? I did say Podbean. We're on Podbean.
If you didn't, you said it now.
Spotify, iHeartRadio. We're just about everywhere.
Yeah.
I do have to confess something, though, Ian. So a couple episodes ago, I don't know if you remember or not. You probably don't. I was moving around my microphone, as I do quite often at the beginning of the show, and there was like a big pop. And I was like, oh, no, I broke my microphone. Guess what? I really did break my microphone stand.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, the stand?
Yeah, so it's like loose as hell. That's why before we started recording, I was taking the cables off and trying to tighten it up. It's still pretty damn loose.
Well, you've got an extra one. You can always swap it.
Yeah, I know, but damn it, I like this mic. This is my microphone stand.
Well, technically all three of them are yours.
And there goes the dogs barking upstairs.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't be a show if we didn't have the dogs barking.
They haven't barked in a while.
Yeah, it's been a few episodes at least.
Well, because Mandy was down here the last couple, so
the
dogs...
Right, that's true. So
they just follow her around.
Yeah, they had no reason to bark. She didn't know where she's at.
So, we're recording this on Friday the 10th, so 3 days ago was the 3-year anniversary of us starting this little podcast.
Yeah. I know. It was weird. I was thinking, I'm like, I could like feel it. It's like, this feels like 3 years or something.
It's the day after Sid Barrett's birthday.
Yeah. Which we didn't know at the time.
Well, I didn't know that. No.
Yeah. Because you weren't in Pink Floyd back then.
Well, I mean, I was, but
not like you are now.
Like
no, your obsession with Floyd goes to the same level as mine with Tull, I think, at this point.
I was a casual Pink Floyd fan. Like
most people.
And we're actually next month we're actually gonna do a Pink Floyd episode, so I don't want to get too deep into it. But like I listened to a couple of songs off Dark Side of the Moon, and
right?
Like about a quarter of The Wall. And that was kind of my listening.
Well, you probably heard more than quarter of The Wall, more like half.
No, I'd heard the whole album The Wall before, but there was like Mother, Hey You, Comfortably Numb.
Right.
That's probably about it that I'd listened to on a rather consistent basis, but.
Yeah. Hey You's one of my favorite of their songs. I don't know.
It's probably in the top 15 for me.
Is it?
That's a good song.
No.
But I did want to say real quick, we actually got a couple of new subscribers here lately, so I'd like to thank them for subscribing to the show.
Awesome.
I wish need some more people to do that.
Yeah.
You can actually subscribe to the show on Podbean, and you can also do it on
Apple Podcasts.
On Spotify.
Yeah.
On Spotify.
Can you do it on Apple Podcasts?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
No, you can follow the show.
I'm just wondering if
actually any of the podcatchers, you can subscribe to the show or follow the show.
Right.
So
I'm thinking one of them is my dad because he's been listening to a lot of the.
No, because they actually show it. I can actually click on it and see who.
Oh, really?
Who subscribed to the show? Yeah, it wasn't. It was.
Oh, is he subscribed? Because he says he's been listening to the show. He keeps backwards. He's going in reverse.
Does he listen on Apple?
I think so.
Okay, Apple Podcast doesn't show me followers. It might if I actually logged into it, but I don't log into there. I just log into. I see Podbean stuff. If you subscribe on Podbean or Spotify, that's about all
I think he does it on Apple because he's an Apple guy like you.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I didn't say there was. I thought there was, but I wasn't saying it.
You little rotten bastard. So this is actually total between the 4 podcasts we've done. This is actually our 145th episode.
Wow. Of actual recordings.
Yeah.
That's impressive. I mean, there's podcasts that hit 500.
Actually, that's actually wrong. It's actually 146.
Oh.
I forgot about the lost episode.
Oh, yeah. The lost episode.
But I guess it's still 145 because I took the episode that came before it and split it in two.
Right.
And then used it as two separate episodes. So I guess it's still 145.
Right. Fair enough. Still, it's doesn't seem like it's been that long, really, when you think about it.
No, because we started the show on 1717. So,
yep.
No, it's been an interesting. 2019 was kind of interesting. We tried to do some different things.
Yeah.
I guess probably the biggest thing, which was kind of early in the year, was the death of our website.
Yeah. It wasn't so much of a death as it was just kind of a gentle passing away.
Well, the financial cost of it and the time that it took me to kind of maintain everything on the site, it wasn't nearly giving back what we were putting into it.
Right.
So at some point, possibly in the near future, I'll probably revisit the idea of doing a website again. But the email addresses and everything are still functional. So.
Right. And it doesn't seem like, can a website really do more than social media in the grand scheme?
Yes.
Can it?
Yeah. Well, because it's a landing spot for your show, and all your stuff is in one spot. And
you can diversify the information.
Yeah, and that if you Googled us, our website would come up and things like that.
Right.
Where sometimes it can be, for some reason, our show doesn't show up really well on Spotify. You have to actually type in the name of the show and then scroll through a bunch of bullshit until you find our show.
I don't think Spotify is really. Podcasts are not their focus.
It's becoming more of their focus.
It is,
and it has been over the course
only
of the
because they
year.
can get advertising dollars on the free subscribers,
without
paying anybody out for it.
Yes,
yeah, roughly anyway. But yeah,
I guess the other big thing that we did with the show last year was move to a weekly show instead of a bi-weekly show.
Right.
Which,
in the grand scheme, for a long time we were doing two separate shows, and they were one would go out one week, one would go out the next week. So technically we were doing a weekly show anyway. Yeah. They were two separate shows. So I like the weekly version, personally.
It's been kind of it's taken some time to get used to the whole thing, though, because I think it was difficult at first coming up with topics. Right. Because of the way that we're kind of forced to record because of my work and school schedule.
Right.
And really, therefore, we planned a lot of our topics
months in advance.
Months in advance.
Yeah.
And I think it probably wasn't the wisest idea, because I feel like we lost some of the topical relevancy that the show was kind of created around originally.
Yeah, I suppose so. But we kind of also made a conscious effort not to really delve into a lot of topical stuff last year. Maybe as a result, but also just because of, you can't get topical without getting political, and we really want.
You can.
Yeah, it's tough, though. It's tough.
If you go back and look at the first 2 years of the show, I feel like we were topical without being political. Like the Larry Nassar stuff and things like that.
Right, but even a lot of that stuff can bleed into politics can bleed into it.
But we didn't really allow it to.
Did we really? Because it seems like everything we talk about always ends up bleeding into politics in some way or another.
No, I felt like there was a lot of stuff we talked about that even maybe we might just made a kind of some kind of political comment, but we didn't delve into the politics behind.
Right. But we did make a conscious decision to lay low on politics last year a bit.
Yeah, and maybe we shouldn't have.
Maybe not, but I don't think there was anything going on last year up until maybe the last month of last year that it wouldn't have just been repetitive.
Maybe that's true.
So,
but I feel like as the year went on, we kind of got a better flow. It was almost like starting over. I felt like. Because I feel like a different flow to a weekly show. Uh-huh. Even though, like I said before, because of my school schedule, we record both shows at the same time, and then I just split the show. The other show goes out the following week.
Right.
But so I felt like there's a kind of a different flow maybe to the episodes. But like I said, I feel like as the year kind of went on, we got a little bit better at the kind of the way it went out.
Right.
And I got better at like time management wise because I was having difficulties sometimes getting everything edited in a timely manner. I think that's one of the reasons why there for a while I was releasing shows on Mondays instead of Sundays. Mm-hmm. I've gone back to the Sunday schedule though. I think that kind of works fine. Yeah. I'm probably going to leave it that way because when we moved to Monday releases, our numbers kind of dipped a little bit because we get a lot of, because if you go on Podbean, which is who hosts the show, you're able, it gives you like an hour by hour breakdown.
Okay.
Of when your show gets downloaded. And our like two strongest times are Sunday afternoon, early evening, and on Mondays, like Monday morning, mid-morning. Right. So I think we were kind of losing some of that, missing some of that Sunday.
Huh.
Which we've gained back. So it's not that big of a deal.
It's weird that would be a day where people would be tuning in. I mean, I generally, unless I'm working on the weekend, which, I mean, I work every other weekend, but unless I'm working, I don't listen to podcasts on the weekend at all. Because I only really listen to them in my car.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. If I'm at home, I'm normally listening to music.
Right, exactly. Or we're just watching TV or doing whatever.
Yeah.
But when I'm in my car, driving to work and going on lunch, I sit in my car. That's when I do my podcast listening.
I guess that's not necessarily true. Like, if I'm outside cutting the grass or whatever in the summer, I've been known to listen to a podcast or do some kind of usually work in the yard. Or
when I was doing outside work last summer, I would have my headphones and stuff on, but it was usually just music.
Yeah.
So
I mean, no, I'm not saying I don't listen to music, but probably a majority of the time I am listening to music. But I have been known to. I probably listen to quite a few podcasts.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just everyone has their own. I mean, I guess it's kind of the same way with television viewing these days, because it's not set to a schedule like it used to be when we were kids. Everything, broadcast, you can stream and everything. Mm-hmm. So I think people kind of develop their own patterns, and everyone's different. They're listening behaviors.
I would be willing to bet that a vast majority of people listen to podcasts during their commute.
Oh yeah. Oh, I would 100% agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just seems like the best time. I mean, there's some people who only listen to podcasts, and they probably listen to them all the time, but I'd say those are the exceptions.
The exceptions, yeah. So. What else did we do on the show this year? We decided to start doing not weekly, but monthly music episodes.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Which I've been a big fan of. Music has always been kind of a big part of my life ever since I was a kid. And kind of the idea of doing a monthly show was something I thought about for a while. And I kicked the idea around, especially like...
Well, for a while we were kind of doing it anyway with our review show. I mean, it was always a music... Not always, but pretty much every other time we did one, it was a music episode.
So it was probably around that time that I kind of got that idea. Maybe that's why we kind of went more that way with Entertainment Now.
Plus, it kind of coincided with your reintroduction to vinyl collecting and all that. So,
but I guess it was probably after I started listening. There's a podcast called The Vinyl Guide that I listen to on a pretty regular basis, and I think that was kind of at the time where I decided to kind of do more of like a monthly thing,
right? One regular,
especially since we're doing 4 or 5 episodes a month. Why can't we dedicate one episode to music or vinyl? Because it's more of a music episode. Granted, a vast majority of them have been very
vinyl heavy,
vinyl centric.
Yeah,
but I don't know. It's. I mean, because we're both big avid vinyl collectors. Well, at least I am, but.
I'm less comfortable spending the volume of money that you are.
So I mean, so it seemed like a kind of a natural progression to do those kinds of shows, because it's something we kind of started the show as because we like talking about weird and goofy shit sometimes, and why not just kind of record it and see what happens with it?
Yeah.
So I mean, why not talk about something we both like? So And so vinyl records was definitely something that was easy for both of us. And some of them vinyl shows have been hour and a half plus long.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, that's kind of the whole purpose of the show was, I mean, what we talk about on the show, a lot of times it's just stuff we talk about randomly anyway.
Pretty much.
So vinyl's no exception. We talk about, music and vinyl all the time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because there's been a lot of other episodes where we talk about music, maybe more so than we should, but
right.
I guess if you're not a fan of music or vinyl records, or you think we talk
good music,
or if you think we talk about music too much, then I guess start your own podcast and talk about whatever the hell you like.
Right? Yeah. This I say it all the time. This is our show. We'll do whatever the fuck we want.
Pretty much.
Yep.
And
because no one's paying us to do it.
that's for sure.
Right. So if they want to start paying us, then we'll be a little bit more, choosy about what we talk about, but
probably not.
No one's ever going to pay us for it, so fuck them. We're going to do it. We're going to do whatever the fuck we want.
We'll do what we want. Yeah, but so I want to talk about things that we enjoy, and we can actually get decent kind of conversations out of.
Yeah.
But
I think we've been pretty successful. I mean, overall, I can't think of any real dud shows.
We've had some.
Yeah, well, we've had some shows that were weaker than the average, but I wouldn't call them duds.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, looking back on this year, what are some episodes that kind of stand out to you?
I don't have any specific episodes because I came with my normal amount of notes.
Yeah, I've only got like 3 pages.
But
of notes,
it's not difficult for me to look up my Podbean account and check out a list of our shows here.
I guess one that stands out to me was probably episode 55.
Okay,
which came out and that's the one thing it's on some platforms it actually shows the episode number, on other platforms it doesn't. So episode 55, which was released I think it was January 6th, which was our second annual New Year's Eve trivia game with Mandy and Eric. I always enjoy those. I think we have a really good time. I think we played that's when we played the Halloween game last year.
Okay, that was episode 55?
Yep.
Okay.
Because I think Eric actually won the Halloween game.
Yeah, I think he did. Because I don't know is that normal? None of the old episodes have numbers on them anymore.
Yeah, because I went back like
took them all off.
a long time ago.
I remember you saying something about that. But
yeah, a long time ago I went and did that.
Yeah, so I don't know what number it is, but if you say that was a Halloween episode.
Well, that's why I told you the date also. So
did you?
I did.
I don't remember hearing
Episode 55 was January 6th.
If it was January, why would it be a Halloween episode?
Because we just played that game.
Oh.
That was just the game we picked to play.
Oh, it was released. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. What about episode 58, which is our creepy Craigslist stories? That was a good episode,
I just found it February 9th.
For which one?
Creepy Craigslist, February 9th, 2019.
Yeah, those are good.
Well, I was going to say the conspiracy theory episodes,
which we did a couple of those. The
creepy ones. Those are kind of like
episode 64 was WTF Flat Earthers Part 2.
Right. See, those are the kind of episodes I have fun with.
Yeah.
Not to say that I don't enjoy all the other stuff, but I'm constantly racking my brain. Those are topics that we can't talk about a lot, and it does get to a point where there's a limit to what you can talk about.
Yeah, especially when it's the flat Earth stuff.
Right. So I'm constantly trying to find new things to bring up as topics. I haven't found anything yet, but
I always like the conspiracy episodes.
Yeah.
Like episode 80, which was released July 21st. That was the 9/11 conspiracy episode. So that was another.
That was
a
good one. Yeah, that was a good fun one. Yeah, I mean and the music ones. I mean, even going back to 2018. Is Rock and Roll Dead?
That's June. 2018. We're not talking about 2018.
I thought we were talking about the 3 years.
No, just the last year.
Well, I'm gonna have to look it up. But he sends out, what is that? A Word document or a Excel document? It breaks down all the shows that we're doing ahead of time, and it says third year review or year 3 in review.
Looking back at year 3.
Oh, well, there's a 3
of life in general.
Yes. I misunderstood. It's a good thing I didn't do any notes because I would have fucked that.
Yeah, you would have.
So.
So I think it was the first music episode we did, which was March 3rd. It was episode 60. It wasn't like necessarily meant to be like a vinyl record episode.
But is that what it became?
Yeah, but it was What is Bone Music?
I remember that.
That was a really cool episode where they're like, the Russians couldn't import music from the West. So they're taking X-rays and etching Western music onto X-ray images.
Yeah. It was weird. It was an interesting story.
And if you Google bone music, you can find all sorts. I mean, people still sell them online.
Yeah.
It was one of those things that you don't really come across very often.
No,
it
was something I didn't know anything
about.
And
I don't even remember how I stumbled across it. And I was like, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah.
And I started looking into it. Like I said, it was really interesting. The probably the one that got the most plays out of last year was episode 65, which was released April 7th. That was our Record Store Day 19 episode. Where we talked about HD vinyl, and that was one where HD vinyl actually shared our episode. And,
okay.
So that's probably why we got so many plays. I think that's our highest most listened to episode period.
Right. Do you think that had more to do with the topic, or just the fact that it was shared on other people's podcasts? So
I think a combination of both.
We got a crossover of listeners.
I think it was a combination of both. I think that's kind of where I was like, maybe these vinyl episodes actually do something.
Right. But we have had a complaint about our music episodes, too.
We did have a complaint where we talk about music too much.
Right.
Now, I don't think it was necessarily the music episodes.
Well, not specifically, but if we're talking about music too much, that's the complaint.
Well,
and we're doing a music episode that's a vinyl episode every month. The implication is that it's the music episodes.
Yeah, which that's fine.
Right.
If you stop listening to the show because we talk about music too much, sorry.
Right.
I can't help you there.
Right. Yeah, we can't.
What's some other episodes? Episode 70, which was from May 12th. That was the top 5 immigration myths. Because I worked in immigration for several years back in Nashville, and immigration is always something that I found very interesting, especially the way that the media and parts of our country lie about immigration and immigration processes.
We lie about everything because it's all. I mean, everything's partisan, so nothing is going to be true on any side. Everything's partisan nowadays, so it doesn't matter.
When do you feel that kind of started, though?
I actually was thinking about that. I think it was, and you've actually asked me that question on the show before. I don't remember if I said under Bush then, but I would say I think it started under Clinton. I
really feel like everything. See, I think
it wasn't bad. It was a very slow start.
I feel it was much more recent than that.
No, I think the extreme partisanship kind of started under Clinton. It accelerated under Bush.
I mean, because they were able to get some bipartisan things done. Of
course. As I said, it was slow and it was minor, but if you look at Clinton's administration and look at all the administrations before that, I think that's when the bipartisanship or the partisanship started to kind of veer more to an extreme. Very, very mild. It'd be noticeable by comparing it to previous administrations, but by comparison to today, it was nothing.
Yeah.
But I think that was kind of the beginning stages of it.
Maybe it was. I feel like it just went on steroids when the black man got in office.
Oh, it did, 100%. Well, and you could argue that it was toying with the steroids a little bit under Bush Jr., but
I don't know. It's
nowhere near the extremes, though. Yeah, Obama was when it just went completely off the rails.
Yeah, because nothing got passed.
No, nothing did. Yeah, everything was strictly downvoting by party lines. So
let's see what other good ones. How about episode 76 was from June 23rd, which was Did the South Win the Civil War?
Yeah, it was a good episode.
That was a good episode. That was an article I had come across, I think from the New Yorker, kind of talking about, that even though the North won the actual war, a lot of the same principles and ideas have grown larger and larger, it seems like, in different areas, specifically in the South, over the course of the last 150 years or whatever it is.
Right. Yeah, no, it was a really good episode. I remember. I think I listened to that episode twice, actually.
Did you?
Going back, yeah.
It was a really. I mean, I think if you Google that title in New Yorker, I think you can probably find the article that I found to go over. But yeah, it was one of those topics that I kind of stumbled across, and I was like, oh, I guess I never really thought about that this way. And I don't know, I thought it'd be a good topic.
Yeah. The trying to look at ones that weren't music ones. Is anti-intellectualism really a problem? I think that was a good topic. I don't know if I dropped the ball or I felt like I dropped the ball. I don't think I discussed it the way I wanted to.
Do you remember? I don't even remember. It's
been a long time since I listened to it, but I just remember feeling like there was a lot I should have said or didn't think to say when I listened to it back.
Yeah, sometimes and
I do get that quite a bit, actually. Like, why didn't I say this? Or,
You know what helps with that, though, Ian?
Notes.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's stuff that even if I had done notes, I wouldn't have thought to write down until after the fact.
Because at least for me, when I'm like sitting down doing notes, it's almost like a brainstorming process, and that's where I kind of think up a lot of these things, and maybe not so maybe come up with an idea of what I want to talk about, but at least get a flow down for how the words are gonna
flow down.
Flow. What?
You said flow down. I don't think that's a real thing. A flow down.
A flow, like down on the paper.
A flow, comma, down, right? Or not?
Yes.
No. Yeah. Well, no, it wouldn't be a comma, but
flow down
on your.
I get the flow down.
Okay. Sounds like one of those things, like hot water heater to me.
What's wrong with hot water heater?
Nothing, but apparently it's a problem in the South.
If you think about it, it's hot water heater. It is a
little redundant.
Yes, because it's not redundant.
It is.
It's not even factual.
Well, it's a redundant way of saying it.
No, because you're not heating hot water. It's technically a cold water heater.
Yeah, but it's redundant in the sense of having to even say that part of it. Because I think the implication
it's just a water heater.
Yeah, but it's water. It's heating water to hot. It just seems redundant. You just say water heater. But here in Michigan, we say hot water heater.
Hot water heater. What's that dinging noise?
It's like headphone jack banging into my thermos.
Oh. Yes, because that was part of Ian's New Year's resolution.
Yeah, I don't really call it a resolution.
What do you call it?
Just
a promise to yourself?
No, it's just a plan.
It was a resolution
to drink a lot less soda
that I made
like zero
to start after the new year.
Yeah, it's an arbitrary date to give it.
I'm sure asking you, and that's all it is.
I'm just telling you, I don't believe in resolution.
Near do I.
It's silliness
because you never really keep them very long.
No, and that's the thing. If you have to give yourself some kind of arbitrary date for anything.
Yeah.
But that's what it boils down to for me. I just needed to give up soda. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I probably should also. Well, I don't know. I haven't drank a lot of it in the last couple of weeks.
And you don't drink anywhere near as much as I do.
I don't know. I was drinking a lot there for a while.
I'm drinking 2 to 3 liters a day.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah,
that's more than a lot. That's like an obscene amount.
Well, it's all I drink. That and coffee.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, well, that's what everyone says. But you know what? I was enjoying it.
Yeah,
it's not like I'm drinking that much liquor.
That would be an even bigger problem.
That would be a huge problem. I'd be unconscious most of the time.
I know people that do.
Yeah.
We've seen people that do.
We see it. Yeah, we see it quite a bit.
What about episode 87 was one that I found. I really enjoyed the topic. Yeah, it was September 8th, right around there. I don't remember that. That might have been one of the ones I released on a Monday. I haven't gotten on the fucking topic yet.
I shut my phone down.
I was kind of like building.
I thought maybe you were waiting for me to look at it.
Building up the anticipation, like, oh my gosh.
Well, okay, I was anxious. I asked you to throw it out there. Get to the point, man. Get to the point.
So episode 87, which was Has Reality TV Ruined Television?
Yeah, I don't remember where we fell on that, honestly. I don't think I actually listened to that one back.
I fucking hate reality TV.
Oh, I do too.
It's like,
but has it ruined television?
I think it has. Because everything's based off of stupid reality TV now.
No, there's a lot of scripted stuff. There's a lot more scripted stuff now than there was when reality TV first.
I think that has more to do with Netflix and Hulu and things like that. The places that are doing, I would say, non-traditional TV that's having the renaissance with scripted television programming.
Well, they have the money and the they don't have to adhere to the same standards as far as.
But the
violence.
networks are just they all just suck themselves off with reality TV.
It's not as bad as it was in the late, say, early 2000s, mid to late 2000s. The aughts, basically. Yes. The aughts were just, it was nothing but.
Yeah. So. But, because I enjoyed some
there's
reality
a few.
shows
There's
back
a few,
in the 90s.
Well, even today, I can sit and watch, there's I forgot what it's called, but it's on Discovery Channel. It's basically with this family, they help people build homes off grid. I forgot what it's Homestead, whatever. But they'll build water. What are those things called? Water turbines. It's like a water mill, but it's and electrical turbines and ditches, and they basically set these people up so they can kind of live off grid in the middle of nowhere. It's called homesteading. It's a fascinating show. I can sit and watch something like that.
I can
as far as reality goes.
Sitting here right now, I can't think of a single reality TV show that I would intentionally sit down and watch. Right. Like, I'm going to sit down and watch this.
Now, see, if my dad was here, he would say, well, Ghost Adventures, I do watch Ghost Adventures. I don't consider that reality TV.
It is.
I guess it is, but
it's non-scripted. You have unscripted television.
Well, see, that's the questionable part. Is it truly unscripted? And second of all, it's like
it's classified as unscripted.
You have to demonstrate that what they're showing to be paranormal is actually
it's reality TV, man.
All right. Well, I watched Ghost Adventures. I like that show. It's entertaining.
I'm sure there's probably something. I'm just not thinking of it right now
that you like, because I'm sure you catch a lot of it because your wife watches a lot of it.
Yeah, I go in the other room where I come down to my office.
Right.
But I guess it depends on if you want to classify game shows as reality TV. Because that's kind of
where it started.
All kind of started. I would think.
Game shows are one thing. Quiz shows are another. I like quiz shows. America doesn't really have quiz. It is, but America doesn't really have quiz shows. We have Jeopardy and things like that. But that would be our closest thing to a quiz show. But I like British quiz shows and stuff. I like that kind of stuff.
I guess I like, what's that show? Beat Shazam. I like that one.
I've never heard of that.
Oh, that's the one with Jamie Foxx.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's a music one. You have two teams, and they play a millisecond of a song, and you have to figure out what song.
Oh, I think I vaguely remember. Is that still on?
I don't know if it is anymore or not, but that's how. I don't know. It's been a long time since.
Right.
But that's what it was. You had a certain time. You had to beat the song or figure out what the song was within a certain time.
With a very minimal amount of clue of it. Yeah. I think I remember that, but I think that I don't remember seeing that. It's been a long time since I remember seeing commercials and stuff for that.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe it might not be on anymore. Right. If that's not on, then shit, I don't know.
Right? Yeah, I don't pay attention because I know Dancing with the Stars is on, and I
don't watch any of that crap.
No, Masked Singer's kind of interesting to a degree because it's interesting to see who they are under the masks, but it's not something I've ever watched other than when I was here and your wife had it on.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I like cooking shows too. I do like some cooking shows, or food shows like Guys, Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives. It's fun to watch because especially when it comes to Michigan, looks at Michigan restaurants. I wouldn't mind trying that.
I guess those kind of shows are something that I
could watch.
I could watch if it just happened to be on, but it's not something I'm gonna sit down and actually watch.
Right, and there's a couple that are food or cooking competition type games. But that's more game show, I guess.
But then again, my wife, who does enjoy reality TV, hates the shit I watch anyway. So
right,
I guess it kind of goes both ways.
Right. Well, she's doing some scripted stuff now. She's watching Grey's Anatomy, but not that that's an improvement in my opinion. But, And in fact, there's plenty of reality shows I'd rather watch.
Well, with at least with Grey's Anatomy, there's like the first couple of seasons, like I'd say like the first 5 or 6 seasons, I think were a lot better. They weren't as I feel like the last couple of seasons have been kind of corny.
Well, see, my biggest problem is with those earlier seasons because it's the only ones that I ever watched or had to watch, and I don't know. It's just so paint by numbers.
It is, but you know what? I liked watching House, and House was fucking worse than that.
See, with House, you get that
House. You could always you could almost put it down to the minute.
Yeah, I felt the same way with Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah,
just not.
It's like, oh, look at the clock. He's going to figure it out right about now.
Yeah, with Grey's Anatomy,
then he had the epiphany, and then that'd be the end of the episode.
With Grey's Anatomy, you can do the same thing with the monologue, where one of the doctors, like I said, proselytizes or moralizes everything for the character who's been struggling with something throughout the episode, and they do their little monologue with the dramatic music.
That's their way of kind of wrapping it up.
Yeah, well, you can set your watch to it, but that's not always, because they still have to. The person who gets the monologue said to them has to have that moment where they're by themselves and they go, "Oh man, I fucked up," and then they do whatever it is they were supposed to do in the first fucking place. Or say whatever it was they were supposed to say, or screw whoever it was they were supposed to screw, and then there's still that medical part of it. I guess where it's they have to save the person or they don't save the person. It's it's all so paint by numbers.
I guess that's not really the problem I have with it.
That is for me.
The problem I have with it, it's more along the lines of like every couple episodes there's a plane crash, and then there's a big storm. And then there's a big pileup.
Well, ER did the same thing every year. They did it by the year, though. Yeah. There was one year, every year there was some big disaster.
Yeah, the helicopter would fall off the roof.
Right, or the big storm, the big snowstorm, the big rainstorm, and everything's flooding.
But it seems like with Grey's Anatomy, it's like every couple of episodes it's something.
Well, now they're doing some kind of crossover with one of the other Station 19, yeah.
Which is because it's all the same show. One of the people actually... that's on Station 19 used to be
on Grey's Anatomy.
The same character.
And Private Practice isn't on anymore. And that was a spinoff of
actually, I really like Private Practice though.
Yeah. See, I never really watched that one because I just felt if it's a spinoff of Grey's Anatomy, it's probably going to have the same formulaic elements.
No,
to it
really didn't.
Oh well,
I don't think it did. I found Private Practice more interesting.
Yeah, perhaps.
And some of the stuff, especially now that I work in the medical field and I have a better understanding of all that stuff. You watch some of the stuff they do on Grey's Anatomy, and you're like, "What the fuck are they even doing?"
Right.
That's not at all how that would go in real life.
Yeah. No, it's not. I felt the same way about ER though, but
see, I never do with ER. At least for the first, I could say for certain for the first like at least 4 or 5 seasons, they had people working on the show that were in the medical field, like doctors and things like that would oversee procedures and things like that to make sure that there was a realism to it.
Yeah, I suppose.
And I feel like that's kind of what might be missing on.
Maybe it's just the drama aspect of it that kind of clouds the more realistic aspects of it for me.
Yeah,
because the drama is a little bit too melodramatic. It's too.
I think you always get that. I don't TV show like that.
Right, right. I was gonna say you don't get that in real life.
No,
you might have the slight interpersonal relationships or things that might have dramatic overtones at times.
If a TV show was like real life, it would be really fucking boring.
Well, of course.
You'd get like one interesting thing every like 4 seasons.
But that's why I don't watch. I don't watch. Even I pretty much just watch scripted stuff. But the stuff that I watch is so far out of the realm of reality.
Yeah,
sci-fi, fantasy type stuff. There's no question. It's all escapism and. You can have your moralizing and everything else in there. Star Trek is an example of that. So is Doctor Who. But it's so far detached from reality because I don't want any fucking reality. Because it's boring. It is fucking boring. I don't like reality. Nobody fucking likes reality. If people liked reality...
Apparently people do like reality because reality
But reality TV isn't really fucking real.
It's all bullshit also.
Yeah, it's not real. It's reality in the sense that it's, well, we'll say, quote-unquote, unscripted. But it's still directed.
It is.
It's choreographed.
And it's shot certain ways,
edited
certain ways.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
to create tension, to create drama.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
So it's still essentially the same thing, but to me it's, something like a Grey's Anatomy or whatever. It's still so close to at least trying to portray something realistic.
Yeah.
I just want to be a
well, you like sci-fi.
I do. And, but that's why I like sci-fi, I think. That's why, because, it's just, I don't want fucking reality. If I'm zoning out,
But the stuff that's on TV isn't reality either.
But you understand what I'm saying. I'm acknowledging that. What I'm saying is, I don't want to see a story about people in a hospital. I fucking work in a hospital. I'd much rather see a show about aliens on a spaceship.
I don't know. I like
see what I'm saying?
I like watching ER, and I work in the ER. So.
Well, I tried watching ER after I started working at the hospital, and I just didn't. I didn't get it. It didn't connect in terms of what we do and what we see to what they do and what they see. Maybe the medical side of it, but like the interpersonal realities there just didn't. I
don't know. I also
that's what I was talking about.
I also feel like the hospital we work at is a poor example of what other hospitals are like.
Well, to be fair, isn't ER in New York?
No, it's Chicago.
Chicago, okay. But it takes place in the city.
Yeah.
So it's going to have slightly more extremes.
But I mean, I'm talking about like the way it's run.
Well, I don't know how other hospitals are run.
Neither do I. I've only worked at one,
right.
But the one we work at is a really fucking big one and has more money than God. So it's not like I was talking.
It does not have more money than God.
Well, I mean, okay. Well, they've got $11.9 billion in the bank. But other than
that's about a half of what the Vatican has. So God has more fucking money.
It was a joke, Ian. But anyway, because someone said something a couple of days ago about it might have been something about Grey's Anatomy. They were like. Obviously, it was somebody. It wasn't work related, but someone was like, "Oh, do they really have like all these people on call? Would they just like call in all these doctors?" And I'm like, "No, I think normally they have them already in the hospital. I guess like a specialty might be on
some
call.
Surgical residents are called in,
but like a general surgeon, I don't think they're gonna call in a general surgeon, especially if they've been at the fucking bar.
I don't think it would be emergency general surgery.
There was a what's that?
We work in the emergency department. There's nothing emergent about general surgery.
No, but what I'm saying though, so there's an episode of Grey's Anatomy where they were like at the bar drinking, and they got called in, and like so the one doctor's like walking around with a banana bag, so she doesn't have a hangover. I'm like, that's not going to really fucking happen.
I don't know what a banana bag is.
It's just like a bag of like electrolytes and things.
Oh,
like that,
okay, yeah. Okay, I never heard it called that, but.
A banana
but
bag?
I get it.
Oh,
yeah.
they even at work they call it that.
Do they?
Mm-hmm.
I don't pay any attention.
You'll see them though. It's like the really huge bag of yellow fluid that comes down the tube.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've seen those. I just didn't know that's what they call them.
How about another interesting episode? We'll move on. How about the bonus episode? We didn't do it. We'd never done one before, so we did the bonus episode about the impeachment inquiry against Donald Trump. That was back on October 9th.
Right. Was it a bonus episode?
Yeah. It wasn't a numbered show. Remember so we actually recorded 3 episodes that week.
Why don't I remember that?
I released that one I think I released it
because you're like Wednesday. Yeah. I remember that now. I mean, I remember the episode. I just didn't, for some reason, I didn't make the connection that it was a bonus or a third episode or like an extra episode for the week. Now that you mention it though, yeah. No, I liked it. It was, it's probably a lot more on tune with what you're going to have to expect from us a bit more in 2020.
I think the funny thing about that episode, though, is it was probably someone that's probably listened to the show for a while and listened to us talk politically might have been a little surprised on the way we came down on the whole impeachment inquiry.
Perhaps. Although if you've listened to us, because obviously this show started before Trump was even inaugurated. He had won the election, but he hadn't been sworn in yet. And I think our first episode, we talked about that.
No. Our first episode was me railing against social media.
Okay. Well, it was one of our very first episodes. We were talked about because you had said, well, let's give him a chance. And I was like, fine, we'll give him a chance. And it wasn't very long before you were like, well, this is a fucking shit show. Like the rest of us. But I think even back then we had even brought.
I think it was longer. It was longer than you wanted it to be.
What's that? Oh,
for me to agree with that.
Oh, hey, yeah, perhaps. There's a lot of. No, I wouldn't say there's a lot of things, but there's a handful of topics that you and I will never agree on, and those things bother me, but not enough to worry about, in the grand scheme of things. But where I was going with that was, I think even in those episodes, we were like, it might have been me, it might have been you, but it was probably me, saying, is it possible he's going to do something stupid and get himself impeached? Mm-hmm. And even back then, we both agreed that unless it's something extreme, they shouldn't even try it.
Yeah.
So even going back that far, so I don't think anyone who's listened to us for the duration would think that our view on the impeachment episode would be out of character.
Yeah. So, okay. I would just think I thought that
we don't like him. We want him out, but this is not the way to do it. I think is what we came down on.
Yeah.
Just because it's not going to work, and we were proven right. The Dems have shit the bed on that.
So it looks like our third episode was our first Trump episode.
Okay.
Oh no.
Well, it would have been
the second episode was.
Yeah, because it was the inauguration. We talked about the inauguration.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did.
Not the first episode.
No, but it was like I said, one of those early episodes. I just couldn't remember if it was the first episode or not. But
yeah. It was the first. At least episode 2 and episode 3 were definitely Trump centric.
But he had just started, I'm actually curious to go back and listen to those and see what
don't go back and listen to them.
Well, the sound quality.
Sound quality kind of sucks.
It was rough, but I'd like to hear what we were saying about it at that time.
Yeah.
Plus, I haven't listened to any of those old episodes. I'd be curious to see what I sounded like, 3 years ago. Yeah. 'Cause, I don't have any other recordings of myself. You take a picture of yourself and, say, well, this was me in year X and this is me in year Y, but that's just a picture. It's detached. You can actually hear my thoughts and my, talking.
I guess that's kind of the cool thing is thinking about, my grandkids or whatever. They'll have hundreds of hours of me ranting about fucking endless nonsense.
Right.
What was our grandfather like? Oh, he was a fucking lunatic. Here, go back and listen.
And listen to the company he kept, too.
This is why we had nothing to do with him.
Right.
Fucking crazy.
Threw him in a fucking home as soon as humanly possible.
Another good one was episode 92. We did the top 10 movies of the 90s with Mandy.
Yeah, that was a good episode. Oh, and that's funny because I need to go back and listen to it because I was informed by my dad we missed 2 movies that should have been talked about, and for some reason I think I mentioned one of them,
which were
Shawshank Redemption.
No, we did talk about that.
Did we?
Yeah, we did.
And then Meet Joe Black, because those are top movies for him. But,
yeah. I wouldn't necessarily put either one in a top 10. I think we did briefly talk about Shawshank though. I think
I can't remember.
I think we all said it was a good movie, but
well, I don't think I would have had a problem putting it in a top tier spot. But like I told him, I said, even if you're sitting down and going through a list and looking at what movies came out at those times, even if you saw them, there's going to be movies you forget, and there's also going to be movies that you like better, potentially better than one that someone else thinks should be higher.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the point.
That was kind of the thing I had a hard time with I thought like there was a lot of really good movies that I just had to cut out because we only had 10 of them.
Right.
And that's kind of, I think, the way I came down on Shawshank also. It was right around the same time that we hit a stride. I think we had 4 or 5 really good episodes because we had 92 was the movies one. And 93 was the Argos Real episode.
Okay.
Which I thought was a really good show.
Which is actually the show that got my dad into our show.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So.
And eventually we're going to have him on our show.
Yes, he'll be on our next Ghost episode.
To revisit that topic because he feels like Ian didn't do a really good job.
No, yeah. He felt that,
story.
Exactly. He felt that I missed some things and misrepresented some of the stories. And if you think we're long-winded, you're in for a treat. I know he's listening. He's going to listen to this. So I think I even said that to him the other day. I was like, we're long-winded, but
that's all right.
I said Nick's going to have to keep everything in check. And
I think I do a good job of keeping the show flowing.
You do, for the most part.
Then the next episode was episode 94, which was horror movies that deserve to be remade.
Right.
And Mandy was on that episode.
It's funny because actually I listened to that episode, and that's one of those situations where I didn't think of it when I was when I was looking at things, kind of researching, because I didn't really have notes for that one. I had some, but not a lot. But there were a couple movies that came up in my mind. I was like, why didn't I bring that up? And why didn't I bring that up?
Oh, yeah, I bet.
It's going to happen all the time.
Notes help with that. Just saying.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't have had those movies in the notes because I had no concept of those films. And then it's like, oh, my God, that would be perfect, After
maybe you would just thought about it while you were making notes. Just saying.
I think you're overestimating my capabilities.
Yeah. I don't know. And then there was episode 96, which I felt like was one of the top episodes of the year.
Okay.
But unfortunately, no one got to fucking hear it.
Oh, right. Yeah, that was a good episode. It was sad that we lost that because it was really good.
The episode was Why Are Adults So Obsessed with Alcohol?
Right.
And I felt like it was a really great conversation. And
was it adults or Americans?
I think it was adults. It was adults. And then somehow I deleted the show.
Yeah.
Which really sucked because
it was a good episode.
It was a really good episode.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember even like after we were done with it, I was like, wow, that just in my own mind I was thinking that really turned out good because you never know. You come up with these topics and stuff, and like I said, I don't really think we've done a dud. We've had some that were just a little lesser than others, but I think overall, I think our topics are pretty good. But you never know where it's going to fall. If it's going to be like a weaker episode or a stronger episode,
or you come up with a topic like that and you don't really know where the conversation
might go. Right? Yeah, exactly.
So the episode can go in lots of different ways, and I felt like
especially with us.
Yeah, that's very true. Hey, we haven't got really sidetracked so far.
No, it's been pretty
no one's been talking about soaking or anything else.
Right. You know what? That's the other day at work. We were at the same spot at work, and we were kind of discussing this upcoming year, 2020, some shows. And I said I was going to think if I got a good one. I think.
Okay.
I'll give it to you after the show. I don't want to give it out until the show. But I forgot where I was going to go with that. Oh, we should do a show strictly on that. Things like soaking. Just a whole show of nothing but, we'll call it the X-rated show.
The Urban Dictionary show?
Well, I was thinking just like the X-rated show, just all these really obscure and crazy fucking terms for strange sexual things.
Like Cajun leftovers.
Donkey punch, the
grumpkin.
What was the grumpkin again?
Oh, I'll talk about that off air.
Yeah, like I said, it'll be the X-rated episode. It'll come with a disclaimer warning.
If you would like to know more about soaking, check out episode 102 with DJ F.A.M.E. That was the favorite Christmas memories episode.
Yeah.
Like we spent 20 minutes at the end of the show talking about soaking.
A nice wholesome Christmas topic.
I wonder if that's why he didn't share that episode.
I don't know.
So yeah, episode 96, it really sucked that it got deleted.
Yeah, it was a good episode.
Hopefully eventually we'll recover that topic. And hopefully it'll be just as good. Another episode I felt had that was really great, which was the 100th episode special with Mandy and Chrissy. What did we play? We played
I don't remember now. I really don't remember.
Oh, well, okay, then I'll look it up real quick. Dum, 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 dum.
Have you been keeping up with the Jeopardy challenge?
What is that?
Well, the special. They're the top 3 Jeopardy champions of all time are challenging each other.
No, Mandy's been watching that.
Oh, yeah, my dad's been watching it, and he says it's been pretty good.
We played 90s pop culture, and then we played Dirty Minds. That's right.
Oh, yeah. Because I think we all assumed Dirty Minds was going to be something different. Yeah. I actually didn't enjoy the game. I'd much rather think dirty, But then when you try to think dirty in reverse, it sounds dirty, but you're trying to think of it clean. It's just, I don't know. I would much rather play a dirty game.
Was there any other episodes that kind of stuck out to you, or did I kind of cover most of them?
I think you covered most of them. I would say, going forward, a lot of the things we've talked about for the past years, we're going to revisit similar topics to some degree.
Of them, yeah.
Like we said, the conspiracy stuff, some of that we might come back to.
Yeah, because I love talking about conspiracy
Me
stuff.
too. And the ghosts, obviously. And we'll do other movie episodes and stuff. But I've got one idea for something a little different that, like I said, I'll talk to you about off there.
Okay.
And then, we'll see where it's going to go. I mean, I'm excited to see what happens in the next year anyway, because
it's going to be an interesting year, non-podcast related.
Right, exactly. Just overall, I think in general. So.
But I'm going to try to get a little more active on Instagram and Twitter and all that. I know I say that probably every fucking year, but
so far, yeah, I think you've said it several times throughout the year as well. And I always say I'm going to get better with notes and social media because I'm terrible with social media.
Ian is worse at social media than I am.
Yes, I don't like it.
Ian doesn't even know how to tag things on Instagram.
I thought isn't that with a hashtag?
Yeah.
Did I do that wrong the other day?
No, you did. You just only put one. You can put up to 30.
I put 3.
Okay. So, well, you can put up to 30.
That's way too much effort.
No, it's not. See, what I do is I came up with a list. Like with my vinyl-related posts, I came up with a list of all the hashtags I use, and then I put it in a draft email, so I can just copy and paste it right out of my email. Boom.
Maybe I'll think about doing it. Maybe I'll do it at work or something if I'm bored, because I do a lot of draft emails for that kind of thing when I'm bored. Like, well, that one day we were together in Maine, I did lists.
Yeah, we both did lists.
Yeah, just because it was
shits and giggles.
Yeah, there was a moment of time where I don't know how much of this we should really confess online on the air.
Why? None of our management listens to our show, so it's
now. Who's to say? That could change. You never know.
That's all right.
But it was just we had a period of time where there was really nothing going on. But we had to be aware of what could potentially be going on, because at our spot, it's it's a lot of stuff's time sensitive. So.
Yeah.
We did. I think I broke down. What did we do? I did my Jethro Tull in order of what I think.
You put Jethro Tull's order albums in order and Alice Cooper's
and Alice Cooper's of an order of what I like. Yeah. What the order I would put them in. Least to best or best to least, whatever it was.
And I think I did Pink Floyd.
You did Pink Floyd, yeah. And then I think we did get a little busy after that.
I guess
or I went on lunch.
I guess
or something.
We didn't break any rules. We weren't
No, it was all in our email.
It
was all. Yeah, I did. I think
we weren't doing anything we're not.
I did all the albums from memory. So
yeah.
Because at some point I was like, oh man, I forgot that one.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, especially with Alice Cooper, because he's got 65 albums. It seems like.
I think he's got close to 30.
Yeah.
So I think 27 or 28 now, or he'll have 28 coming out this year.
But yeah, that's all I got, man. It's been an interesting year, and I
look forward to the year ahead.
I look forward to continuing this adventure.
Yes. Because you never know,
You never know what. What's?
I'm just saying, you never know. We might get,
I could get hit by a train tomorrow.
Well, I was going to say we could have 10,000 listeners. I mean, but that's thinking a little optimistically. Better to think, be pragmatic and just assume we're all going to die tomorrow.
Yes, exactly.
Like you.
It's automatically where I go.
Yeah, well, hey, I've never known you to be negative. I've never really known you to be necessarily pragmatic either.
Really?
Yeah, you've always been a bit more of an optimist.
I say I'm a friendly mix.
You're definitely more optimistic than I am.
I think
overall.
I think you almost have to be.
No, you don't. I don't.
You're a fucking negative Nancy, man.
I am not. I'm pragmatic.
Negative Nancy.
Nah.
All right, man. Anything else to add?
No. But if you're not listening to the show, you should.
Well, if you're not listening to the show,
you didn't hear me say that.
You didn't hear that. Dumbass.
Fair enough, but I still say you should listen to the show.
All right, man. Well, as always, you can email any questions or comments to contact@lifeandjailpodcast.com. Check us out on Facebook, the
Tubes of You.
The Tubes of You. The Twitter.
The of Twit.
I don't know. That sounds dumb.
It does.
All right, man. Well, until next time.
Talk to y'all later.
Peace.
Play my role, let me tell you about it. This shit right here, man, I'm proud about it. Only real niggas reside around me. Yo, old lady, drop a guard around me. Dip like I know you can, bitch. Show me the ropes like we in the ring. Got you two cobras, you wanna hang. Shoulder to shoulder, the niggas basic. You know I won't lie. You know that I ain't for that fuck shit. You niggas alright, but I'm way better and she love it. Know that y'all sick as fuck. Here go this tissue, bro. We taking the dub. Hoping you get you some. This hit like a pick me up. She taking my drugs. Know they see the sign. That's some dollar signs. Know they sick as fuck. Know they sick as fuck. Tell them get well soon. Tell them get well soon. Know you sick as fuck. Get well soon.
Oh shit. Watch out, you the god, Billy. Oh shit. Right now, and I'm smiling in your face, bitch. With a gold smile, you should probably make placement to your eye. Niggas sick as fuck. Standing with niggas who down for that party. Who down for some bitches who showing their bodies. Swear to God, nigga, this Molly got me up and rolling. These bodies of water. Bring that shit in bottles.